Here's the American healthcare cost, $8,000 per capita. That's the US is that dark line. And you can see how it's grown since 1960 to 2010. $1 trillion. So let me just say this, think with me about this. If you take the American healthcare system, which is the most expensive in the world, and you replace it with the second most expensive healthcare per capita cost in the world, you spend $1 trillion less per year. Now, is $1 trillion a big number? How about $1 trillion every year? Is that a big number? That's a big number. So it's not just that we're spending $1 trillion more than the second most expensive country in the world. So we're getting 60% of the value of what we're investing, roughly. But where does it go? That's the important part. And where does it go? So 61% go to prescription drugs, physicians and clinics, or hospital care. We are not older. We are not sicker. We simply pay more to manage the care. We pay more in some areas than in others, right? And all we have to do is look at that variable treatment. Where the treatment is variable, we have to understand what works and what doesn't work, and then drive down the costs. So that's the diagnosis. Now, what's the treatment? So what are we actually going to do? So we're creating a little initiative called the Johns Hopkins Individualized Health Initiative, or Hopkins in Health. And what we're doing is we're bringing the three groups that don't work with each other too often: the university, the Johns Hopkins Health System, and the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. And we're going to see what we can do about creating affordable health. So, and Johns Hopkins in Health is a commitment by one organization in this field, Johns Hopkins Institutions, to create a model within our own population of about 100,000 people to figure out how to chip away at that $1 trillion. By the way, you should know that there's some self-interest here. The Johns Hopkins is 0.3% of the US healthcare system. 0.3%. And 0.3% of $1 trillion. So when you're talking with your friends about the problem with the American economy and how are we going to balance the budget, remember there's $1 trillion to be saved each year in this problem.